hit my 10 minutes there, because obviously deck building you're given 20 minutes. I've got quite a low curve on this deck, between Arresters and Fairy Imposters and all the rest of it. And I'll only be playing the one Guild Gate, and then I've got 3 different flyers I want to cast on that turn, and I've got Key Rune to help me get straight to 5 and 6. So this deck is solid, the one we're looking at now, 23 cards. It's solid, but it doesn't have any bombs. I mean, Hypersonic Dragon's kind of a bomb, and it will win you games, but not compared to, like, Chaos Imps. I mean, all in all, my pod does not contain a bomb that I can see it. Beyond Hypersonic Dragon. I mean, Lev Sky Knight's kind of a slam first pick, I guess, and forces a chord, makes multiple tokens. But we've got one Guild Mage in Golgari. I'm not prepared to call Horncrawler's Chant a bomb. So no, we don't actually have a bomb in our pool, which is annoying. Don't get me wrong. There's 2 other decks we could take a look at while we've got 8 minutes. One of those is kind of an Is-It build, which would run then Lobber Crews, Pursuit of Flights, and probably Shred Freaks. Running the Shred Freaks so we have something to put our Pursuit of Flights on reliably. I don't really want to play a deck that's running Shred Freaks, but then we could probably run Civic Saber. We run double Shred Freak, Frostborn Weird. The other is a Selesnya deck, which would then... I think in Selesnya deck we're going to play 2 Activating Guardians, and we'd have the ability, and a Gatekeeper, so we'd have the ability then in Selesnya to splash maybe blue, but then we're splashing for what? Void Wielders? Detention Sphere? So we splash for Detention Sphere, Void Wielders, and Dramatic Rescue. But then it feels like we're bringing a green splash into this deck, but it can't be a green splash, because it's where all our fixing is. So we're bringing green into this deck, and putting worse green... well, not worse green cards, actually. I mean, we'll be replacing kind of Rune Wings and Inspirations, and Key Runes, with Key Runes, Courses of Chords, Calm Bonds, and Centaur Healers. Is it possible that would be a better build? Kind of Selesnya with the blues splash, but then we can't play the Hypersonic Dragon and the Street Spasm, so we'd end up with a smaller amount of removal, because all the removal green offers us is just an Aerial Predation, because green isn't big on removal. So I think we're going to end up with this build. I'm not prepared to, but partly because I'm recording it, it's so much slower dragging the cards around. I'm not prepared to look at other builds, actually by dragging them all down, because I want to have time to rebuild this. Which I'm fairly sure is the deck we're going with. Cards in doubt, I suppose Security Blockade, those Sellers of Songbirds. It's a shame I could have done with, if all those trained Caracals with 3 Ethereal Armors, 1 trained Caracal instead, I could play like an Ethereal Armor subplot, which would be great. I've got like a Rest, Detention Sphere, and Security Blockade already in here. It would be actually a pretty fun deck. But instead of having fun, we're just going to try and win, because we failed to open Jace. We want, is it Guildgate? What do you suggest? 3 mountains. Yeah, that's not happening. So 772 gives us 8 blue sources, 8 white sources, and 3 red sources. Pile by colour, we do want 3 mountains. Because the mountains will help with Frostborn Weird. So if we treat Frostborn Weird as a blue spell here, all the red spells is the same. So we do want double white on turn 3, but we also want double blue on turn 2. That's the major issue with our mana base in this deck. And if we run only 8 white sources, the chances of getting that Sunspire Griffin down are lower. And if we run only 3 red sources, our chances of overloading Street Spasm are minute. Maybe this is the wrong build. I'm worried now that I've thought of that Selesnya deck. 8 blue sources. Perhaps 8. No, 8 blue isn't too many because of Frostborn Weird. I mean, if I went down to 7 blue sources and up to the red sources, that wouldn't not help with Frostborn Weird. But the only thing I'm helping myself with there is overloading Street Spasm, which I've kind of resigned myself to not being able to do most of the time and agreed that that's fine. And I don't want to lower the blue and up the white, because then casting Frostborn Weird and activating it becomes much more difficult. So I think 772 is the way to go. Just evens on the blue and white. with a literal splash of red. Yeah, not unhappy with this build. Certainly don't think our sealed pool is the most powerful in the world, just because we don't have any bombs. So I'm trying to play the best cards I've got, like my Lev Sky Knight, my Hypersonic Dragon, but compared to the people out there who will have Raskas and Archons and Mercurial Chemisters and any big Rakdos bombs? What's the biggest Rakdos bomb in the format? Comment below the biggest Rakdos bomb in the format. Vixmardy Guildmage? Selesnya Guildmage, that's a legitimate bomb. Anyway, so we'll be back with round 1. This is How Not to Sealed. We'll see you there.